What if I told you that one of the world's driest, deadliest deserts is now blooming with foods? That is exactly what China's desert reclamation revolution has achieved. We're talking about a green belt around the Taklamakan, rose farms on sand dunes, and even a robot factory in the Gobi. These are not fairy tales. These are real breakthroughs happening right now. But before we dig into these wild facts, please hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. You do not want to miss the next wave of cutting-edge tech that is quietly changing our planet. Farmers on the edge of a massive desert are now growing animal food where nothing lived before. This is not magic. It is smart agriculture, powered by water-saving irrigation technology. In Xinjiang, the desert reclamation revolution has turned barren, sandy plots into productive pastures. The Taklamakan Desert is one of the harshest places on Earth. Extreme heat sucks moisture from the soil almost instantly, but new drip systems and underground pipes deliver water straight to plant roots. Nothing gets wasted. This approach does two big things at once. First, it restores the local ecosystem. Grasses and shrubs hold the sand down. Dust storms become less violent. Second, it feeds a booming livestock economy. Cows and sheep now graze on forage crops that grow on former wasteland. Rural families earn more money. They no longer need to move away to find work. One local farmer shared that his income tripled after switching to these precision farming methods. He used to watch his crops wilt under the sun. Now he harvests 3 times a year. The desert reclamation revolution proves that technology can beat nature at its own game. Over the last 10 years, China has tackled desertification control on a massive scale. The numbers are huge. Workers have restored 20.33 million hectares of sandy land. That is bigger than many countries. Even more impressive, 53% of all controllable sandy land across the nation is now managed. The desert reclamation revolution did not happen overnight. It took decades of trial and error. Early efforts failed because people planted trees that drank too much water. Those trees died, and the sand returned. Then, scientists changed the plan. They switched to native shrubs and grasses. These plants need very little water. Their roots grow deep and fast. They lock the soil together. Today, you can drive for hours through areas that used to be drifting dunes. Now you see green bushes and small trees everywhere. Birds and foxes have come back. The government also built hundreds of small check dams. These slow down flash floods after rare rains. The water sinks into the ground instead of running away. This raises the water table naturally. The Taklamakan Desert is one of the largest drifting sand seas on the planet. It moves. Winds push dunes over roads, villages, and even rivers. For more than 40 years, China has planted a green belt around its entire edge. The final trees went into the ground last year. The belt runs 3,046 kilometers. That is like driving from New York to Los Angeles. But this is not a single line of trees. It is a thick strip of forests, shrubs, and grasses. Take Moyu County, for example. It sits on the southern edge of the belt. Farmers there have planted thousands of hectares of date trees. Dates grow well in dry heat. Their roots reach deep water. A local agriculture expert explained that as long as the roots keep growing, the tree will keep making fruit. No need for constant watering. But dates are not the only crop. Farmers also grow grapes, pomegranates, and figs. One clever farmer planted tall corn around his young grapevines. The corn acts like a shield. It blocks the harsh wind and gives shade. The grape seedlings stay safe until they are strong enough to stand alone. The desert reclamation revolution turned this deadly place into a fruit basket. Workers used afforestation techniques that learned from nature. They planted drought-tolerant species first. Those created shade and trapped organic matter. Over time, the soil improved. Right now, a massive green wall is rising inside the Kubuqi Desert. This is not a myth. It is real, and it is working. The wall will stretch 420 kilometers long. That is farther than driving from London to Paris. It will also be 3 kilometers wide. That is wide enough to stop even the angriest sandstorms. This barrier is part of China's larger desert reclamation revolution. But unlike the Great Wall of China, this one breathes. It lives. It grows stronger every year. Why does Kubuqi need such a big wall? Because this desert sits right next to the Yellow River. Sand from Kubuqi blows into the water. That makes the riverbed rise. Higher riverbeds mean worse floods. For decades, villages along the river lived in fear. One heavy rain could wash everything away. The Desert Reclamation Revolution changed that. Workers started building windbreak forests along the desert's edge. They planted poplars, willows, and shrubs. These trees do not grow tall quickly, but their roots spread like a net under the sand. The real magic happens on the ground. Workers lay down straw in small checkerboard squares. Each square is about 1 meter by 1 meter. These sand-fixing grids stop the dunes from moving. Wind blows, but the straw breaks its power. Sand particles fall into the squares instead of flying away. Then, workers plant native grasses inside each square. The grasses take root within weeks. After 1 year, the entire patch becomes stable. You can walk on it without sinking. You can even ride a bike over it. This method came from years of failure. Early attempts just planted trees in straight lines. The sand buried them. The Desert Reclamation Revolution learned that you must fix the sand first. Then you add plants. Now the Kubuqi project sits inside the famous 3 North Shelter Forest program. That program is the largest ecological battleground on the planet. It covers hundreds of millions of acres. But the Kubuqi section is special. Its location is shaped like the Chinese character Z. That bend in the Yellow River is where dust storms are born. Today, the results are clear. Sandstorms in Beijing have dropped by more than 70%. The air is cleaner. Farmers near Kubuqi no longer find sand in their beds. Their children can play outside during spring. The Desert Reclamation Revolution also created a new economy. Local people get paid to lay straw grids. They earn money to plant trees. One family told a reporter that they used to survive on wild herbs. Now they own a small shop selling seedlings to the project. But this is not just China's fight. The whole world watches. Delegates from Egypt, Iran, and Mongolia visit Kubuqi every year. They want to copy the sand-fixing grids and windbreak forests. Why? Because deserts do not respect borders. Sand from the Sahara reaches Europe. Sand from the Gobi reaches Japan. The Desert Reclamation Revolution proves that cooperation works. It is not about high technology. It is about smart, cheap, and simple tools. Straw, native seeds, and human patience. That is the real secret behind the Green Wall. The wall will be fully finished soon. But the work never ends. New dunes form, old trees die, volunteers keep planting, engineers keep measuring wind speed. The Desert Reclamation Revolution is not a one-time fix. It is a permanent promise. A promise that sand will not win, that rivers will stay clean, that children will breathe easier, and that one day, the Kubuqi Desert might not be a desert at all. It might just be another green forest on the map. Yutian County sits on the southern edge of the Taklamakan. It is hot, dry, and windy. Yet roses grow there across an area nearly 3/4 the size of Manhattan. That is, thousands of acres of pink and red flowers blooming in what looks like a dead zone. The Desert Reclamation Revolution made this possible. Rose bushes have tough roots. They spread wide and shallow. They grab the top layer of sand and hold it down. One rose bush can stabilize several square meters of dune. But these flowers are not just pretty, they are a real business. Farmers harvest the petals and sell them to factories. Those factories make rose oil, rose water, and rose tea. 1 kilogram of high-quality rose oil sells for thousands of dollars. Local women pick the flowers early in the morning before the sun gets too hot. They fill large sacks with fragrant petals. The air smells sweet for miles. Tourists come just to see the unlikely sight of a desert in bloom. The sand stabilization effect is real. Sand dunes near the rose fields no longer move. Roads stay clear. Houses no longer get buried. One farmer told me he used to earn less than $500 a year. Now he earns 10 times that from roses alone. He also grows a few vegetables between the bushes. The shade from the roses keeps the soil cool and damp. Out in the empty Gobi Desert of Gansu province, a strange new building stands. It is a robot factory. Why build robots in the middle of nowhere? Because the harsh desert is the perfect natural testing ground. The heat, dust, and wind push machines to their limits. If a robot works here, it will work anywhere. Engineers at this facility design autonomous systems for extreme jobs. The most eye-catching robot is a 6-wheeled patrol unit. It runs on solar power. It climbs over rocks and through soft sand. These robots guard the nearby Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center. They also help local police watch for fires and intruders. The desert reclamation revolution now includes machines that never get tired. They work at night. They work during dust storms. They send real-time video to human operators sitting in cool, clean rooms. The factory also partners with universities. Students come to study extreme environment robotics. They learn how to seal motors against fine dust. They learn how to cool electronics without wasting water. The goal is to build a talent pool right there in the Gobi. Young engineers do not have to move to big coastal cities anymore. They can stay in the Northwest and work on cutting-edge tech. This is the final piece of the desert reclamation revolution. First, you stop the sand. Then, you grow food. Then you build the future. And you do it all in the same hostile land that once had nothing but rocks and wind.